Hello, welcome to my channel, Chasing Ghosts. My name is Tara Smith, and I'm setting up my live stream here. Just a random live. I'm gonna take a little different route home because there's no freight for me to haul tomorrow because our economy sucks. You know. And I don't care if you like Trump or not. I'm still gonna hope he gets the economy rolling. Let me get that down. I can't feel as well with the new gloves. Okay, there's the Cardo. There we go. I can turn that down. And that will work better. That way if Amy calls or something, I can answer the phone. I don't know how the signal's gonna do going this way. We'll find out. I can tell you my bike is like wet from the moisture in the air. That's a good way to get woke up for the ride home. I had nothing to dry it off with. So, yeehaw. No, I don't take turns around here too fast. Too many trucks, too much gravel. You don't want to do that. And I don't know if anybody's going to show up. If you do, leave a message, let me know you're there. I had a long day at work. I only worked 14 hours though. I didn't have to split my log. So 14 hours is a short day for me. It's still a long day though. And there's nothing to do tomorrow. I'm hoping the oil field gets opened back up. There'll be more work for me. I'll pull a tanker. Well, we do like chemicals in general, a lot of oil field chemicals. If you pull a tanker and you're not hauling like orange juice or milk, there's a lot of what you do that's related to the oil field. And then there's all these other places, you know, factories, they need some kind of mineral oil or you know, industrial craft. They clean with that stuff. You put your arm in that shit, you'd have like bones sizzling, or what was left of them when you got out. So I went this way in a while. A hole in the railroad and I need to be careful of. There's like a crater on the railroad track. I just wanted a different route. I felt weird about going the other way. I don't know. You ever have that thing where it's like, just something that way? So you don't go. You know, I've had that experience in a truck many times. It was like something told me to park. Or just something told me not to take off just yet. And then you find out something happened down the road about where you would have been. You know, I can't really attribute that to anything. I can't really say that I would have been involved in it, but there's a chance. And it's almost a universal experience with truck drivers that have been driving any length of time. that we've all had that kind of happen. Why is my leg itching? Oh, we got a green light. Coolness. All these plants, that's what makes the money. If you listen to that song, Keep the Wolves Away, that shit's real. Brazos isn't that he's talking about, it's the next river over. Galveston Bay is just straight south of me. San Jacinto's the river here, then you got, I believe it's the Trinity going that way. You got all these rivers emptying out down here. All the factory work, chemical plants, that sort of thing. All these, historically speaking, men, but now men and women, but still mostly men doing this work. You know, putting their lives and their bodies at risk and sacrificing their health. I know there's a crater. There's the crater. I didn't want to drive through the crater. So, all these men sacrificing themselves basically so that they could, you know, pay the bills, work a job that actually pays money. You know, Walmart's not going to do it, the local gas station's not going to do it, you know, basically same reason I do this shit. It's, I need the money, but historically it is men. You know, hell, we couldn't even have our own credit card till what, 40 years ago? So, yeah, things have changed, man. You do see a lot more women, just like in trucking, you see a lot more women. Used to, like, even when I started driving a truck, you would sit down at the bar at the truck stop and they would tell you, you know, you belonged at home, you didn't belong out here. They would tell you that to your face. And most of the women that were out on the road were married. They were with their husbands. Not all, most. And a lot of them would go out with their husbands and then they would go home and raise their kids. And when the kids were grown, they'd come back out on the road with them. And that was kind of accepted. Be out there by yourself, that's a totally different story. So let me see who this is. Can I read it? Writing on a ruby. Hello. Okay, cool. Now I can read it. I need new glasses. I can't read with my glasses on, but I can't read with them off. Can't read that sign in front of me with them off. I can't read the stuff up close to me with them on. The joys of getting old. I hear the alternative's not that great. You know, you ain't got much of a choice in it. I can remember my family members getting hurt because, you know, they worked construction, they worked in these plants. They all had CDLs, drove trucks too. Yeah, that's one side of my family. My stepfather's family had the big farm and everything. And then my father's family is up on the northeast. But down here, they all did construction, drove trucks, and they go back and forth between trucks and construction and oil field. And, you know, I can remember my uncle getting his back hurt real bad. He's gone now. Remember my grandfather got run over by a concrete truck. And that's just the way it was. I need to get over in a slow lane. I don't want to go too fast. and I don't want to get run over. But, you know, hopefully that person's hopping the tollway. My grandfather, he'd come home, he'd take it flat, let it dry. It had so much salt in it from the sweat that when it dried, you could just stand it up in the corner. And he'd do that even when, you know, he'd worked his way up. And, you know, when he had his own company, he'd go around job site to job site. He'd be helping them, you know, catching edges or something. Or, you know, they're pouring tilt wall. They're doing all kinds of stuff. And he'd show up, you know, some of his jobs, and he'd, well, I want to say suit and tie, but he was that generation that was what they wore slacks. They didn't wear you know, blue jeans and stuff. My uncles and all them, they wore the blue jeans. My grandfather's generation, it's like they went to work on a construction site and they had like those slacks and stuff that they wore, and they wore them. And you know, he'd wear a nice shirt or something like that, and he's supposed to be the boss, and then he'd come home and he's covered in concrete and everything else. That's just how he was. Y'all can let me know how my signal's doing too. A little different route. I do need to pick up my speed though. It is cold. It's like wet cold. It's gonna be foggy in the morning. Like real foggy. My bike was already covered with dew when I left the yard. So I just wanted to take this route out this way. A little different view if you can even see it. My other one is more on sitting down and lower. I think I'm going to put forward controls at some point on it. I don't know. I've even thought about taking the pegs off of the lowrider and putting on this bike and putting the footboards on this bike on the lowrider. I had that thought today. I don't know if I want to, but it was a thought that I had. I don't ride this bike that far. I could deal with the pegs on it. It's got forwards anyways. The only reason I put the floorboards on it was the one peg got broke off in my leg, you know, so I didn't want pegs for a while. That'll kind of burn you of them for a little bit. The one nearly took my leg. So, but the floorboards on this one, well, not floorboards, they're footboards. They're technically mini footboards. They would look good on the lowrider. And I'm wondering, because with my feet back like that and as low as it sets, it puts more weight on my feet. And I kind of like the control of the mids. But I'm wondering if I put the footboards on, will it make my feet not hurt as much if I go on a longer trip? You know, just running around, you know, town, or, you know, going on a short trip or something, it's not that big a deal. But like the trip that I just did to Florida and back for, that's a different thing. That was painful. Spinning wheel of death. I saw the spinning wheel. So I usually don't go this way. I don't know how the signal's going to be. It may cut out some, may have been cutting out. If it does, bear with me if you can. I'll try to stop up here and look at the thing, at the comments, and at the end I'll stop. A little gas station I usually stop at. It is cold. I need my chaps. I do not have my chaps, and I need my chaps. I don't have a lot of money either, and I'm gonna miss a whole day of work. They've got work for me Thursday. We've got another sludge box for me to do, and another actually 2 sludge boxes. I was gonna say trash box, but I already did the trash box. The one's technically a dewatering box. I'll do a dewatering box, and I'll pick up a sludge box. And I'll come home all filthy and nasty and covered in shit that's probably going to give me cancer. Just industrial waste chemicals, that sort of thing. Don't know how much y'all can see. We're coming up on the town of Dayton, Texas. That concrete's growing. It's growing too much. I don't know if I want to hang a left or a right when I get up here. I could do either or. I could go left, I could go right. To go right, I gotta go under the tracks. Like I did, well, y'all haven't seen that video yet. Well, y'all saw the original. The live stream I did when I was leaving, like the first day for Forgotten Angels. For that day, I don't know why. And it ends at me at the KOA. Which, if you're traveling through there, Milton, Florida, just east of, what is that, Pensacola? They're like around the 30-something mile marker. That KOA that's there is an awesome KOA. I highly recommend them. I recommend their cabins. I recommend all of it. They're pretty good. My archery place is up here on the right. I don't think you'll be able to see it though. Triple Edge. That's where I have a Hoyt Carbon Spider. And of course they've already measured me and everything. So they cut my arrows and everything to length. But that place right there, Triple Edge Archery, they're awesome. I don't think I'm going to get to go hunting this year. Not enough time, not enough money. Because in Texas, it's like a pay-to-play kind of thing. We don't have a lot of state land. And I don't have a deer lease. And I'm not driving to Oklahoma. Places I could go up there. Honestly, there's a place I could go hunting up by our oldest son's house. He's got some property up there. I could go hunting there, but it's still too far away. Way too far away. It is cold. I don't want to be doing 80 miles an hour. Like, the next ride, I'm going to have my chaps. I don't know what that light is. If y'all know what that light on my gauge is, let me know. I do not know what it is. I have no. The more broken my other bike got, the faster it seemed. When I first got that bike compared to this one, there wasn't that much of a difference. I mean, that one was like smoother, faster kind of thing. Like you would end up going faster without realizing it. And well, they both kind of did the same thing. It was just like, it felt like different gears, different, that sort of thing. It didn't feel like it was a lot more powerful. But now that they're both broken, they, you know, they're both getting closer to that 10,000 mile mark. You can really tell a difference between the M8 114 and 117. When they're new, I mean, you can feel a little difference, but it's not remarkable, you know? Well, I guess I'm going this way. Might help the downshift. I want to pull in this gas station. Garmin. I'm just trying to find neutral. I saw it. I saw neutral. There we go. That's one way to fog your helmet up. On this episode of Finding Neutral. That's what it says. You did concrete today? I'll make you uncomfortable. Audio is good. You gotta go see me later. Okay, cool. There we go. See if anybody else hops on. But that light right there, in the center, I do not know what that is. I probably should, but I don't know what it is. I could go right, I could go left, I could go anywhere. Little small town Texas. I don't have the money for McDonald's or Burger King or any of that. I got soup that I made at home. So when I get home, I will have food. See, that's how all left turns should be. A flashing. A yield. If there's nobody coming, you should not be sitting there stuck at the light. Ever. Bump, 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 bump. Where is the road? There is the road. Put my visor down. I did a video this morning and I can't get part of it to download. Them's a break sometimes. It happens. But no, I grew up around trucks and concrete and farming and all that kind of stuff. I grew up around people that worked. You know, like they work for a living. I don't know if gas prices went down or not. It's $2.59. If you're listening to this, what's the gas price where you're at? Usually goes down right before an election. They're like, vote for me, I'll lower prices, and they jack it back up. Kind of scary of the snow. I haven't been in it yet this year, so I haven't got my snowshoes wet. And people are hitting some pretty bad snow already. That's interesting. Of course, if I don't see any snow all year, I will be happy. You can keep me down here all year. I've had enough snow. I've had enough driving in the snow. I've had enough nightmares. I don't need any more. I do not need any more nightmares. I mean, the other part of it is I'm usually hauling something that goes boom. You know, some shit more flammable than gasoline, or I've got acid on. One or the other. You're sliding down the road in North Dakota or Colorado. I'm just tired of it. You know, I think I was burnt out a long time ago. At a certain point it becomes a job. That's just how it is. Oh, that is too cold. Tried to put my feet up there. It's like, whoa, no, don't do that. Do not do that. That temperature is dropping. It has to be in the 60s. That makes riding feel like, what, the 40s? I've got my leather coat on. I don't have my chaps on. I think chaps are going to be required for riding from this point forward. Need to be wearing them anyways, just in case. you hit that spot of gravel or whatever. The roads get wet down here just because like the fog and the dew gets so heavy. Riding through rain, and you know, you got the moisture and everything just building up all over your bike and your visor and everything else, and it makes the road a little slick. Truck traffic. It is very aggressive driving, Houston area, but at least the roads make sense. It's not like LA where it looked like some hippie was stoned and threw a bunch of different colored strings at a map, and that's where the road went. Everything's pretty organized as far as like the street layouts and stuff. You can find your way around pretty easily. It is lane driving though, but most places are. Knowing what lane to be in to get where you're going, especially in a truck, because people don't want to let you over. So it's like you need to be in that lane before you get there. There we go. My accent slipped a little bit. Don't know why. It just did. It's like, you know, you got to get 2 lanes over because the right 2 lanes are going to end. And then you're going to exit out of that lane or that sort of thing. But where 59 and I-10 and all that come together, makes a loop, like an internal loop around downtown. And then you have 610. 610 is like, what is that, 60 miles around? And then there's what gear am I in? Oh, I'm in 6th gear. I'm telling you, I need a 7th gear. We could petition Harley for a 7th gear. Come on, we can do this. But after loop 610, if somebody says they're on the loop, they're on 610. If they're on the Beltway, they're on Beltway 8. That's the next one. And that's going from Houston to, that's like, you know, Gunpoint up there, Greens Point area in between. Like if you're going north, you got like Acres Homes on the left. And between there and, you know, 1960, you get up there, that's the next loop. 1960 turns into basically Highway 6. Highway 6 merges into it when you get around to 290. And it makes kind of a loop, which we're on 1960 right now. Going around. I'm cold. I don't feel like speeding right now. Thank you for the rock to the shin. I appreciate it. But if you combine it with 146, which is what we just came up, 146 goes down to Texas City, just north of Galveston. Highway 6 goes down to Galveston. It's the old highway to get to Galveston. So it makes like this big loop, like upside down teardrop from Galveston to Houston and back down. So okay, that's another loop. But then now outside of that loop, they've got 99, which is a tollway. And so that's another loop, but that's just a big circle to match with the rest of them. So there's so many loops to get you where you want to go. And then there's like the West Park Tollway, and there's all kinds of stuff. Everything they put up anymore is a toll. And I hate going to Austin because it's like one toll road after another. And it's like occupied territory anyways. That's why all the Californians are moving to Austin for the most part. Yeah, that's not a good representation of the rest of the state. I mean, they have an awesome music scene. Had a pretty good comedy scene even before Joe Rogan. He only helped that. But yeah, it's like little California. My brights are not on. I'll stop at the gas station up here, I usually do. I'll probably take this road up to the FM road up here. The other one. FM roads in Texas, it's farm to market. If you're wondering what that stands for. And used to, we could run 90,000 on farm to market roads. They wouldn't bother us. But then about a decade ago, they started putting these little signs up at first you couldn't see. And they said 58,000 pounds. And they'd start writing you tickets for it. So if you were overweight, you just stick to the FM roads, you know? A lot of states are kind of similar. States got different laws, like Colorado let you run 36 on your tandems. And they slide it around. Idaho, you got to be careful where the U.S. highway merges in with the interstate, because then they go from, I think, 36 on them, like your drives to, so it drives her, one of them drives her bridge, it changes. You know, and you can go to court, you can fight the ticket, and you'll win, but you still got to go to court, because technically, you're still on, what is it, I think the state highway. But the scale for Boise is right there, and they're still going to write you a ticket, because it's also the interstate. So many ways they could trip you up. And all those questions, if you think about driving a truck and you want to get out there and do that, buy a Motor Carriers Atlas, buy a Randall McNally Motor Carriers Guide, a current one, up to date. And like the first section, like a third of that book will answer all those questions. You know, how much weight can you have on an axle in which states, and what are the link laws, and what is bridge law, which has really nothing to do with the bridge. It has nothing to do with your link on a bridge. It has to do with bridging your weight. The distance between your axles and how much weight, because believe it or not, there's flex in concrete and everything, and the further back it is with the weight, it kind of becomes like pulling an anchor. And it does damage to the roads, and it tears the roads up quicker. So that's what the bridge law is about. Most states have one. Most of them seldom enforce it. California definitely enforces it. I think Georgia only enforces it when they get pissed off. Yeah, driver attitude can affect tickets. Driver attitude will affect tickets. Craters. So don't piss the officer off, even if he's being an asshole. Have your stuff in order. And do your thing. They can always write you a ticket. You're doing nothing wrong. You got everything in order if they want to. There's not a truck on the road that they cannot shut down. They used to, I think they thought it was funny because they knew that the Peterbilts were coming from the factory without a gasket for the fuel caps. And they were pulling over all the new Peterbilts they could and writing them tickets. I think that was a shutdown violation too. Stupid stuff like that. And they know by what model and what year what things are starting to break, which trailers are starting to crack and where. And they'll go to those places like a Home and Beacon. They're not stupid. And we're getting closer. We give directions by churches, gas stations, and dollar stores. There's 2 churches on the left, 1 on the right, and there'll be another one up here. There's a gas station, another gas station, another gas station. I think the drive-through place where you usually got beer and shit is closed now. And it has to do with the construction. Yeah, I think they're closed now. That was our drive-through gas and liquor store. And bait and everything. You get minnows and all that kind of stuff there. You'd pull through and you never have to get out. You get your beer, you get your minnows, you get your worms. You get everything you need and you go fishing. Because we are by the lake. And I live, not far from the bayou. I think one of these days I'm going to have to do a fishing trip on the bike. On one of my bikes, figure out a way to do that, carry everything I need. For this bike, I had to get like a luggage rack. The other one has a luggage rack. But this one would be better for like going off-road kind of thing. And I can figure out a way to do it. Where are we at? Here we go. We are going to the same place, my friend. I don't know where I want to park or what I want to do. I have no freaking clue. I think I'll just go up here. There we go. That bike sounds so solid. Thank you. Thank you. Black Bear Forge. Hello, how are you doing? I don't know if you're still on here. Of course, I'll make you uncomfortable. I said hi to you. So we got Riding on Ruby, I'll make you uncomfortable, Black Bear Forge, and Motobomb. Awesome. Well, hello and kind of bye at the same time to all of you. Because I'm going to be cutting the thing off here. Motobomb. Yeah, you're there. Cool. How was my night? I'm heading home. I'm off work and they don't have any loads for me tomorrow. So there's that. I need money really bad. And the economy sucks and it's affecting freight. Not just where I work, where a lot of people do. If you watch any of the channels where they're going over load boards and stuff, you know, they talk about it too. But hopefully that'll change here pretty soon. Let's see what to say. Have a great night. Enjoy some time off, I guess. Would have been the next word. So, yeah, I will. I was also checking the signal going that route this week. I didn't have to wake up till 3 and I woke up at 2. And I'm just laying there like, fuck my life, you know? 'Cause I get so used to waking up at 2 a.m. and then I just automatically wake up at 2 a.m. and then I'm just pissed off, you know? So, I can hear myself. There we go. Let me put that in first so I don't roll away. And it is cold. Well, it's not cold if you're not riding a bike. I don't know what the temperature is. So, but anyways, thank all of you for watching. I'm gonna go in and get my stuff and I'm gonna go home. So, adios, vaya con Dios, sayonara, hasta la vista, nashla, ciao, all that good shit, and